5, 4 second, and then that's where we feel like we can manage it.
What was it that you saw during practice with Spencer that made it change from maybe this is a guy that we're adding just for depth purposes to a guy that's actually going to be able to contribute here?
Yeah, Spencer's another example of a guy who's trying to take a role, right? Especially when we're so injured. Spencer's done a nice job since we got here of catching the ball, and playing in space. And I think with the bodies we needed, he was a guy that we could take from the tight end room who'd played the stand-up position out of high school and done some good things even last year on scout team. That we felt like at least he could go out there and manage, playing out in the open space. Good hands, and he's done a great job adapting to that. Obviously, he's been there only a handful of weeks, like many of those guys. But I think he's grown into that role and has done a nice job filling in.
Is that something that's still going to be like a permanent change, even when the depth comes back, or is it kind of?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows how it comes back? He's doing a good job, and I think that's indicative for us.
He's added about 12 to 15 pounds since last season. Where would you say you've seen the most improvement from last season to now?
In regards to Spencer still with him, yeah, I think he's just matured as far as but his body's changed for sure from one year to the other. He bulked up to be in the tight end, to be more in the box as a tight end for us, and now we've got him split out a little bit, so we're kind of playing with where that weight needs to be, So he's gotten stronger and faster, and I think every day he's get a chance to get a little more outside of the better,
How much did Juwan's unavailability impact kind of your game planning? I guess the time frame of that. Did you guys?
I think, he was undetermined up till kickoff. You just don't really know, and it's been like that every week of camp, really, it seems like. It's been one after the other, and it's kind of really fluctuated in regards to how guys have had to step up, and I've been proud of those young guys who've had to come in and do some things. And even the guys who maybe have been down in the scout team have gotten reps with us because in practice you can't get all the reps, So those guys have done a good job rolling in, and Juwan, obviously, we'd love to have him back. It's good to have Johnny back. Again, Johnny was out for a couple weeks there, too, in practice, and kind of making sure we're getting healthy, that's the big thing, and that's those guys who've gone in there have done a good job, and I think each day we get a better chance to get more timing is critical for us.
Patrick Herbert has a similar build to Spencer, similar skill set in terms of being able to catch the ball. Do you see a chance where he could even add to what you're trying to do to fill in those?
Yeah, I think he's another good example. You're exactly right. Another good example, a guy who can run and catch, and we've popped him out a little bit on some of our stuff we're doing in practice right now, just to get a chance for a guy who can run and catch and get some more bodies out there. Especially when you break up now in practice from scout teams, you lose some of your other guys to give the defense a look, and you've really got to manage getting enough guys out there in a rack of reps.
Mario had mentioned just the number of called runs in the second half that also had RPO attachments, so kind of skewed the numbers more towards pass than run, even though you called a good number of them.
Yeah.
How come there weren't just more traditional, just straight called runs, Marcus? Because obviously I know they were stopping it very well, 13 carries for 13 yards, but at the same time, the RPOs, you're completing the passes, but they weren't moving the sticks all the time either. So why weren't there just more straight runs in the second half?
Yeah, I think there was a couple straight runs in there. I think the RPO game we felt like was going to give us an advantage to be able to, with what they did up front and putting our guys in space a little bit, trying to take advantage of some leverage in the way they moved. I think that's part of philosophically what you're trying to do. I think there was times where we could have probably handed the ball off in other looks, but that just really was part of the game plan. I thought the guys, for the most part, executed the game plan pretty well. They played tough. I was proud of the way they went out, and they were excited, man. So that was really good.
You feel like you took enough advantage of the vertical passing game, and do you want to emphasize that?
I think you probably, looking back on it, you probably say, with the guys, probably not protecting those young guys who were out there who had to go in and step in, probably not protect them and see if we can cut it loose a little more, I think I'll always take ownership and kind of say, man, just, let those guys go out there and play. And I think we look back and let those guys play a little bit more. It would be great,
That first quarter, game script-wise, it seems like everything you had drawn up in the lead-up was pretty solid, executed pretty well. I mean, as things sort of changed in the game, was that more of just Kevin Steele making adjustments, or was that just more of a lack of execution down the stretch there?
I think it's probably a little bit both. I think the opening quarter was really nice. That's what we did. The second quarter, the same thing, came out, went down the field. Putting drives together, just got to be, whether it be whatever the case may be, coming up short or execution-wise, I think, whatever it may be, they made great adjustments. They're a great staff. We made a couple tweaks here and there, and then, I think just continuing to find ways to move the sticks was important in that deal. Especially playing a good defense. You got to convert those third and inches, and you got to catch the touchdowns. You got to take care of the football. All the little things that really give us a chance to do those things.
What are your impressions on how the team's rebounding?
They've been great. Everyone's been great. I think we've really. Understand that's not a defining. This is not a defining moment for the whole season. This is one game, and we got to move forward. Our guys bounced back right away. We had a great job after the game, and together in meetings, and awesome practice today. And our guys are excited, man. They're excited to be together.
Now that you've had some time to watch film on Nevada, kind of shift that focus there. What's just kind of stood out about this?
Yeah, focus. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. Immediate shift, right? As soon as you get home, wake up that night, it's boom, it's over. Put it to bed and move forward. Nevada's a really good team. They've been really well coached. They run a little bit of a little bit of a different defense. You're not seeing a whole bunch of 3-3 stack anymore in the country, and so that's something we've got to manage through. And they do a really nice job, man. They're going to be coached hard. They'll be coming in here ready to roll, and I know our guys will be excited to get home and play in Autzen.
What makes the 3-3 stack so difficult to play against?
Well, I think just like it's almost like playing option football. It's like it's just different, right? You don't see it every week. You don't, it's one of those things that's kind of an oddity, and you kind of go through and kind of teach some different. We got to kind of tweak your rules a little bit. That's really kind of the best way I can put it. It's like playing option football. It's just a whole different set of rules in some regard.
No, you guys are
Coach Helfrich, Taggart, and now Cristobal. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've never seen the team the quarterback go under center. Well, many teams do that now. Is there some reason why you don't?
We did for years, did that for a long time actually. Right now in gun, that's just been really our philosophy. I think it opens up some stuff for the quarterback to be able to pitch and catch a little bit, opens up a little bit your gun run stuff and offset, RPOs. I mean, I think that's probably the nature of where football is going. You see it even more and more. I think the percentages go up even more in the NFL now, more and more. Under center, I think we've done it one point or the other. It's just not what we do.
You talked about how confident obviously you guys are in the offensive line, but it's going to be a big challenge and task for Jake in particular. You hold their big three to no tackles for loss, Marcus. I mean, I know they got tackles for loss as a team and sacks as a team, but their big three really didn't have much disruption at all. How much confidence does that give you going forward the rest of the season that you very well could have the best offensive line maybe in the country?
Yeah, no, I think you said it last week with how good that front was, and no one's done anything against them. I thought our guys played their butts off, man. We were really excited to turn on the tape. Our guys came out physical right away. They didn't flinch the whole game, and our guys were excited for the challenge. This is a really close group that was excited to go out there and get it done, and they will be every week. I think that's the thing we've got going on here in year two is our guys understand what we're asking and they get it, man. And the process is taking over. And this week, I know they'll be excited. These guys up front did a heck of a job, man. That's a really good defensive line.
For Daywood moving over to receiver, back from DB where he had moved originally from receiver, I mean, has that just kind of been a difficult thing for him having to go offense to defense, back to offense, seemingly out of convenience and need rather than anything else?
Yeah, it's another example, right? You're pulling a guy, you moved to defense, and now you're pulling him back to offense for needs, and he's done a great job of coming over and giving us everything he's got in regards to filling in and not even going through spring camp and spring training with a wide receiver. So David's another example. Guys come over and really contributed, and he's done better every day.
When you call RPOs, how much does Justin have for running the ball? Obviously, there's the pass option, but is he an option also to run it as well?
Yeah, there's an option to run it. It's kind of one of those deals where some of them are option to run or pass, some of them are just run or pass. And I think that you got to look at that in regards to how much you want to protect your guy, sometimes, and how much value you really want to put in him running all the time. There are some different situations where you feel okay with it, with an escort and things like that, but that's really how we see it. Everyone's probably a little bit different.
Would you like to see him maybe carry it a couple more times, or?
Yeah, I mean, that's a delicate balance, right? It's carried at the right times. I think it's the right thing to say. Carry the right times in the right way, and it's just to protect him, more than anything. Those guys get banged up real quick, and everyone's big and fast now. It's a scary movie sometimes they go running inside those numbers.
A couple more.
How do you think Javon Holland would be as a receiver?
Phenomenal.
Mario said he'd probably be a better receiver than he is a safety.
He's a pretty good safety too, though. Yeah, he'd be phenomenal. He was a really good high school receiver too.
They've had a couple guys over the years here play both ways at times. Charles Nelson did that 3 or 4 years ago. Would there ever be any consideration to?
We got a couple guys asterisked, but I don't know at this point if we've got the opportunity to do that yet. I think that depth might allow that, but there's a couple guys I know who can run, who are pretty good receivers in high school. Yeah, for sure.
Very good.